KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years. Matson celebrating the 75th liberation with the people of Guam. Biba Guam. Cars Plus, reminding you to put your phone down while driving. Distractions won't get you there. Heads Up Guam. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And steaks, ribs, seafood, and our famous fresh garden bar, Ruby Tuesday. Good times you can taste.
Coming up on Prime Time, a scheme to rig bids for federally funded projects leads to a UOG professor being indicted. Plus, what your government agencies are doing to mitigate impacts from the recent heavy downpours. And it's a budget bill that identifies close to $1 billion in fund revenue. Mr. Lecanto has more from this morning's hearing.
Good evening, Guam. I'm Chris Barnett, and our top story, a University of Guam professor accused in a scheme to fleece the federal government. With more, Sabrina Salas-Matanani.
According to a July 8, 2019 indictment unsealed in the District Court of Guam today, Professor Thomas E. Marler, along with Janika Lawrence and other unnamed co-conspirators, allegedly participated in a scheme to rig bids for multiple federally funded projects. Professor Marler allegedly used his position as a principal investigator for UOG federally funded projects to benefit a company which he had a financial interest in, as well as to benefit Lawrence's company. The alleged conspiracy occurred during November 2013 through June 2015. As principal investigator, Marler was authorized to award work and payments for UOG federally funded projects. According to the indictment, Marler was associated with a company called Isla Paraiso, which he and his wife at the time had a financial interest in. Lawrence was associated with Sansar Consultant, also known as Sansar Environmental Consulting. It's alleged that Marler and Lawrence would fix the proposals and allocate the awards to the companies they were associated with and co-conspirators. As principal investigator for UOG's federally funded projects, Marler was mandated to obtain 3 quotes from bidders before processing an award. Court documents state, however, that it was part of the conspiracy that Marler submitted false bids proposals on behalf of other vendors, unbeknownst to them, thereby obtaining awards through misrepresentations that other vendors had submitted competitive bid proposals. A combined almost $200,000 worth of federally funded projects were awarded to Isla Paraiso and Sansar Consultant as part of the bid rigging scheme. It's alleged that at no time did Marler disclose he had a conflict of interest. Marler and Lawrence were indicted for conspiracy to restrain trade, conspiracy to commit wire fraud, and money laundering. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Sabrina Salas-Matanani.
KUAM was unable to reach the University of Guam for a comment. And our next story, a Guam man originally sentenced to 44 years for drug and weapons charges had his prison term reduced today in District Court. Our Nestor Lecanto has more in this report.
Hanafri Chargaloff has been incarcerated for some 23 years and had been seeking early release with the help of an online petition started by his now adult daughters. The social media campaign includes letters written by Chargaloff about how he has reformed himself while in prison. Judge Francis Tadinko Gatewood made it clear in the courtroom that it was not a full resentencing, but a modification hearing, and she was, quote, very limited in what she could do. Before announcing her ruling, Chargaloff was allowed to address the court. In emotional testimony before a packed courtroom of family and friends, he told the judge, quote, I sacrificed 25 years of my youth for a nonviolent offense, but by the grace of God, I've survived with my integrity intact. He called his past conduct most regrettable and that he didn't understand the depth and magnitude of his actions. The judge reduced his sentence on the first 4 counts of his conviction from 14 years to 78 months, which means he's already completed that sentence. But on the 5th count, he has to complete the mandatory 30 years. His attorney, Leilani Lujan, told KUAM News he could now be released in 7 years instead of the remaining 21. His request for short-term temporary release and to self-surrender was denied. He will be returning to a prison in Lompoc, California. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
The attorney for former police officer John Boom Mantanotnia has requested that his trial be pushed back. Mantanotnia was indicted along with his brother William Mantanotnia and Gregorio Tekenko for their role in an alleged conspiracy to sway jurors to vote not guilty in the federal drug trial of Raymond Martinez and Juanita Moser. After 2 mistrials, the case was moved to California, where the couple eventually entered plea agreements and were sentenced to 2 years. Now, according to a motion filed in the district court, Boom's attorney needs additional time to review volumes of discovery, including over 6,800 pages of documents and over 2 months of audio recordings from intercepted conversations. The defense is also waiting for outstanding discovery requests that the government hasn't responded to. A new trial date was set for November 5th. Trial set for next year, August 26th, for 24-year-old Marlene Willie. This woman charged with vehicular homicide as a second-degree felony. Willie arrested in May for the death of a 4-year-old boy. As we've previously reported, she was driving along Manga Road in Dedido. The boy was outside playing when he fell in the road and signaled to the driver to stop. He was then fatally struck by the vehicle. During today's hearing, the government motioned for a statutory discovery, and prosecution also noted potential for resolution. Judge Anita Socola is eager to wrap this case up, but one of the last defendants in the retail theft arrest that led to the biggest prescription drug bust is still without a plea. Benito appeared in Judge Socola's courtroom for a criminal trial setting that has been continued to September 3rd. A new prosecutor has been appointed, and the defense attorney asked for more time in order to negotiate. Benito, along with several others, were charged following a Rolex heist in 2017. Now, through police investigation, officers found drugs, guns, and 6,000 prescription drug pills. The other defendants in the case have entered a plea deal with the government. If today's hearing on the fiscal year 2020 budget bill is any indication, you can expect some very robust debate over executive branch spending needs at this month's legislative session. Now, senators heard numerous complaints from agency heads about getting shorted on their allocations, which usually means their respective oversight chairs will take their fight to the floor. Nestor Lecanto has more in this story.
The budget bill that will hit the floor this month identifies $803 million in general fund revenue, and when you add special funds and federal matching grants, it comes in at just under $1 billion, $945 million to be exact. But several agency heads testified that their particular budgets came up short, as did Budget Director Lester Carlson.
While a majority of the sitting members of the 35th Guam Legislature campaigned with the Leon Guerrero and Tenorio team and surely advocated improving health, safety, and education needs, Bill 186 in its current form does not adequately fund these needs.
The executive budget request projects several $1 million more in revenue to cover the additional spending needs. But taking the opposing view was Ken Leon Guerrero of Citizens for Public Accountability.
Because all of you campaigned with the promise that you were going to streamline the government, you were going to put in a sense of financial responsibility and accountability. But we're not seeing that. And the budget that's laying on this table right now before you is proof of that. Instead of taking a cautious approach like we citizens are forced to do, we don't see any effort whatsoever to rein in government spending. I mean, even the speaker came up here and asked for more money.
Who gets what and how much will all be decided when the legislature meets later this month for one of its primary functions, to pass a budget. One thing appears certain, though, the 25% increase in the business privilege tax passed during last year's budget session, it will remain intact.
BBMR cannot stress enough how strongly we feel that the retention of the 5% rate is critical to our economy and our ability to continue to provide the governmental services our people depend upon every day.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Well, to deputy or not to deputy? That's the question as a former Democrat Speaker of the legislature and a sitting Republican senator find common ground, getting rid of deputy directors. Here's more in this report. Minority Senator Jim Moylan introducing Bill 189, which would ban the funding of deputy director positions from line agency budgets. The senator says it would save GovGuam agencies $1.5 million, and he says that's the equivalent of hiring 30 police officers. Moylan's bill would force the governor to foot the bill for hiring deputy directors.
If the governor feels that these positions are important for her, deputy director positions, then by all means, of course, fill it. But it comes out at the governor's budget.
Moylan's measure eerily similar to a provision included in the fiscal year 19 budget law, that amendment eliminating funding for deputy directors. This gives Moylan hope that his bill can reach a bipartisan consensus, even if the Democrat legislature crafted that ban while a Republican governor was sitting in Adelup.
It had the support then and it passed. So I feel this time it should also get the same support, and I feel strongly that it will pass.
Well, the problem is, less than a month after winning the general election, the Lou and Josh Transition Committee sought a legal opinion on the budget law's ban on deputies from former Attorney General Elizabeth Barrett Anderson. Her opinion? Making deputies disappear violated the Governor's Organic Act powers. The author of that amendment, former Speaker and now Public Auditor, B.J. Cruz.
The AG's opinion was wrong. The Transition Committee followed the opinion of the Attorney General.
Cruz, a former Supreme Court justice, says the Organic Act clearly says Guam law can limit the governor's Organic Act powers, and since Guam law gave the governor the ability to hire deputies and unclassified staffers, Guam law can limit it. The former speaker says the intent of his ban on deputies was the same as Moylan's current bill, to save Gov Guam money.
It's still really tight. We can't be just running off and spending money like we, hiring and going crazy.
Cruz says he attended the budget hearings today, and with agencies coming up short on funding, he says there's no denying we're still in a fiscal crisis. So we asked Cruz why the Leon Guerrero Tenorio administration would seek out an opinion giving them the green light to hire deputies. His answer? Politics.
I suppose it's paying back people for their support in the campaign. That's why.
Moylan's bill could end up being locked up in minority member purgatory. The senator has said his bills don't get a fair shake from the Democratic supermajority. But we asked Cruz if Moylan's measure passes, would a law forcing the Magahoga to fund deputy directors out of her office's budget stand up to the scrutiny of a new AG?
If the laws of Guam say no, then the governor doesn't have that authority. But I don't know what this Attorney General is going to do.
A 30-year-old tourist was rushed to the Guam Memorial Hospital. Guam Fire Department spokesperson Sharika Chargaloff says units responded to the Pacific Star Hotel after a report of a drowning was made to 911 just after 5 p.m. Now, when medics arrived, a lifeguard was conducting CPR. It was still being conducted during transport. The condition of the tourist is not known at this time. Well, stick around for more news here on Prime Time. You're watching KUAM.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
Half the day, I'm in the club.
Half a day, welcome to Two Lovers Point.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
there's a technology that's lighting the way to a new mortgage for people all across Guam. Introducing Simplify Mortgage by Bank of Hawaii, Hawaii's leading lender. Simplify Mortgage by Bank of Hawaii lets you apply for a home loan anytime from any device, making the mortgage and refi process faster and easier. Or work hand in hand with one of our residential loan experts. So put the power of choice and control in your hands. Simplify Mortgage by Bank of Hawaii. Welcome to tomorrow.
It's a special delivery to your inbox every week with your KUAM News Roundup, program advisories, and promotions. Sign up for the weekly KUAM Digital Digest today on KUAM.com.
Welcome back. After an inspection was conducted 2 years ago today, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency announces Cabris Marine Corporation will have to pay an almost $251,000 penalty as part of a settlement for violations of the Clean Water Act. Specifically, U.S. EPA found that Cabris Marine was discharging contaminants into Apra Harbor. Now, as part of the settlement, the company has also agreed to implement discharge control measures. It was in 2013, Cabris Marine Corporation was awarded the $75 million ship repair facility contract over Guam Shipyard, which held the contract for years. The persistent rain has caused concern for areas prone to flooding. Our Julia Santos looks into what plans GovGuam has to mitigate those impacts.
Governor Lou Leon Guerrero met with Homeland Security Office of Civil Defense representatives this morning to discuss plans in place for any flood impacts due to the scattered showers and thunderstorms caused by the monsoon activity. The National Weather Service has reported 2 to 3 inches of rainfall each day so far, with an additional 1 to 2 inches expected today. With Guam, Rota, Tinian, and Saipan being in a flash flood watch, the governor has taken steps to avoid greater impacts of the downpour.
I did get some resources and support from the Guam National Guard and also, of course, the director of DPW. And so this morning I just wanted to coordinate it a little bit tighter. And so I did meet with the Office of the Civil Defense.
Present were Tony Babalta, the governor's chief of staff, and via phone was Chip Gard, who updated the governor on the NWS's forecast for the week. According to Gard, Guam's skies should be clearing up in the next couple of days. She decided to have the meeting after taking a windshield tour of the flood-prone areas around Guam, saying that although Maritza was one of her main concerns, she was pleased with what she saw.
I was very encouraged because the river flow or the water flow through the culvert there was flowing really nicely. So I'd understand that the mayor of Maleso has been cleaning those areas out, but we did have DPW there with the resources, backhoe and 2 trucks and some other assets also from the National Guard. And I'm very appreciative that the TAG, General Esther Agagi was very forthright in providing the resources there and also the personnel.
Leon Guerrero says the additional assets will be placed at areas around the island based on a flood assessment provided by the Mayor's Council of Guam. She says that she would like this scenario to be part of the standard protocol when expecting heavy weather conditions.
I always want to be proactive in situations like that to minimize and mitigate the risk of overflowing and the risk of flooding, because especially in Maleso, it's really the main thoroughfare, and if that floods, it really just cuts off people from the rest of the island, and so I don't want that happening. I just wanted to say to the people of Guam, be safe up there, drive safely, don't go out if you don't really need to go out, and I think by tomorrow, the next day, we should be much better.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Julia Santos.
Chamber of Commerce cut the ribbon on a new headquarters today. After more than 40 years in the Ada Plaza building, they're moving down the street to the Harbor View building on West Soledad Avenue, also owned by the Ada family. Chamber President Catherine Castro says it was time for an upgrade in facilities to work more efficiently.
Everything's more efficient. The way that we've laid out the office, it's more efficient for us to work, and so we're really, really proud of the new facility.
Castro says the Chamber's mission hasn't changed much. They still work to promote local small businesses, which in turn provide employment and grow the economy. The Guam Chamber of Commerce, founded some 95 years ago. Today, it has over 400 member businesses and individuals. Well, we continue now our One Micronesia 5-part series where we highlight members from the FAS community who are serving as role models.
My name is Sam Ilisugam. I came from the islands of Yam. I'm the executive director of KUAM. It's a non-profit organization that provides services and supports to persons with disabilities. I've been a director for the last 4 or 5 years. I've been on KUAM for more than half of my life, and I decided to stay here because while I was going to school here, I started a family, and I have kids now, and they're going to school here. This is my community for now. KUAM is my home. Do things for home, for KUAM. All the negative stuff that are going on, yes, you take note of them, but just step over them and continue on doing good things. And I have to tell you, there are a lot of good things going on here on the island, in our community. To waste time thinking of other people's attitudes and behaviors. So I like to focus on the positive things that are happening in our community and just continue to do my part as a contributing member of this community. The people that I work with are some of the most marginalized and stigmatized populations in our community. And to be able to provide them the supports and for them to live like everyone else in the community and be productive members of the community. Then when you see people start to do that, it gives you a very rewarding feeling that you're making a difference in their lives.
And don't forget to sign up for Maniatlu's Micronesian Resource Center's 4th annual 5K Run Walk and Family Fun Day that takes place on Saturday, August 10th at the Governor's Complex in Adelup. Register at Goody Sporting Goods or at the Micronesian Resource Center. Hey, sports is next with Dave Delgado.
Make every day a plus.
Taco Bell's nacho fries are already gold. Now turn up the heat with the new Steak Reaper Ranch fries, loaded with steak and drizzled with the fiery heat of the Carolina Reaper Ranch sauce. Taste this red hot remix, now serving at a Taco Bell near you.
A beautiful, healthy smile is an expression of confidence. The more confident you are about your smile, the more likely you are to fully express your feelings without having to worry about the way your teeth look.
Before cosmetic dentistry, I didn't smile as much. I didn't have the confidence, and it shows. And since I've had cosmetic dentistry done, I feel 10 times more confident. I make my initial introduction with a nice big smile and a handshake, and I just feel like it really is a relationship builder, a nice warm smile, and it makes the clients and customers feel more comfortable with you, feeling confident, and they feel that you're not just there for business, that you're also there kind of as a friend as well. So I mean, it's amazing how powerful a smile can be. A good smile.
Since your smile makes a significant impression on those around you, it is important that it makes the impression you want it to make.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. We start the show off tonight with some basketball news. Players ages 18 and under can register for the 3-on-3 tournament on the FIBA website, hosted by the Guam Basketball Confederation. Check it out. The Guam Basketball Confederation will be hosting a 3-on-3 basketball tournament Friday through Sunday at the National Training Center in Tizen. The tournament is open to players 18 and under at a cost of $40 per team. Games start Friday at 6:30 in the evening. Winners of the tournament will earn a fully paid trip to Bali for a chance to represent Guam at the 2019 Youth Leadership Cup, scheduled for September 27th through the 29th. Eligible players must have an active FIBA 3-on-3 account and also have a valid U.S. passport. Players can create an account by logging on to play.fiba3x3.com to register your team. Maximum 4 players per team. For more info, you can contact AJ Carlos via email at andrew.carlos124@gmail.com or John Lujan at jlujan1980@yahoo.com. In soccer news, the Guam Football Association's 2019 referees camp was held over the weekend at the Leo Palace Resort, Guam. Close to 20 youth referees got to experience firsthand what is expected to be an international official. This was the 3rd year the GFA has held the camp, looking to inspire the youth. The goal is to allow these young referees to continue moving up to the elite referee pathway. The referees camp, mainly an incentive camp for first-time referees, also included a few classroom sessions, a modified fitness test, and practical sessions with an overnight stay at Leo Palace Resort, Guam, similar to preparations for international tournament duty, but on a much smaller scale. Participants received certificates upon completion of the course.
Check out Triple J's spectacular deals going on now during the hot summer savings event. 0 down and no payments for 90 days. Get into a Mazda CX-5 at its lowest price of $19,995 or $152 per paycheck. The big boy truck, the Ford F-150, starting at $282 per paycheck, or the Honda Civic starting at only $176 per paycheck. Triple J says yes. Purchase your next vehicle online at triplejguam.com today. Triple J, customers first. The phone you want now on the best network and a plan that gives you endless data on chat, social, and music apps. Tell your Docomo Pacific rep you want now with access. Docomo Pacific, better together. Some conditions apply.
I'm Ruby Santos. I'm from the beautiful southern village of Umatic. One of the things that we take pride in is promoting Guam through our music, through our original compositions of songs. Here on Guam, what makes us different is our people. When we can extend that Hafaday spirit of being sincere, being genuine, being truthful, being honest, That's all part of our Hafa spirit. The hospitality, our hearts, the genuine friendships and connections that we establish, it's all from the heart, and they can feel it. The Hafa pledge is something that should be taught also to our children. I think when you plant that seed in them, they'll understand it at an early age how important it is to be hospitable, to receive and embrace not only our own culture, but to embrace the other cultures around us. We are all one people.
Taco Bell's nacho fries are already gold. Now turn up the heat with the new Steak Reaper Ranch fries, loaded with steak and drizzled with the fiery heat of the Carolina Reaper Ranch sauce. Taste this red hot remix, now serving at a Taco Bell near you.
And before we close out the news tonight, you know the deal, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
The rain continues to fall, but let's bring out some sunshine for tonight's Cold Stone Creamery happy birthday recipients, starting with Rosemarie Perez Espinoza from the beautiful village of Santa Rita. Happy birthday number 74, coming from your entire family and your village, each and every one of the good people down there. Megan Mabata has birthday number 20, and happy birthday, Megan. We love you. Say Jim and Lynn, Mom, Regis, and your sister, Marina. Happy birthday to you. It is Troy Cruz's 17th birthday, and grandson Troy, we love you forever and a day, and congratulations on your recent graduation from Penn Foster High on May 30th. Our love always, say Benji and Papa. And a happy belated birthday wish to Gerard Applegui. Happy birthday, G, coming from your family and all your friends and all of us at Cold Stone Creamery and KUAM.
And remember, you can be a part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online at KUAM.com. Now, please make sure to include with your photo your name and birth date. Well, that's going to do it for us here on the KUAM News Desk, but stay tuned. Our favorite Jason is next with News Extra. Adios.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E. Explore your world.